In this household, we stand Tyler Jenkins Reid, V.E. Schwab, and Neil Gaiman. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Samah and today I want to try something fun. I saw this challenge going around booktube so long ago and I don't know why I didn't jump into it. I'm going to be tier ranking some of the books I've seen on TikTok, and these are the books that that are really famous over TikTok. A lot of people are talking about them, and some of them I have read, but I only chose the books that I read. I have a small selection, and from these books we are going to be choosing the books and ranking them based on my own opinion. Let's jump into it. My tier ranking will be on 5 categories. The first one is we can't be friends if you don't like these books, and it means all the books that I love and I cannot accept any negative feedback or opinion about them because I believe they are superior. And the second category is called you're doing amazing sweeties. That are the books that I liked but they did not reach the god tier, my top favorite books of all time. I mean, I enjoy reading these books, but I might not mention them casually in conversation, if you know what I mean. The third category is weird vibes but okay, which is about the books that I would not recommend. I really enjoyed reading, but I don't see myself like somehow picking these books on a whim. I might be only reading for a book club or because a friend recommended them. And next category is called Category Road Take Me Home, and it's about the books that I've read so long ago that I cannot remember the plot of. These books that I've read when I was either in university or in high school, and I cannot remember whatever happened in these books. So they're gonna be just there for the homesickness vibes. You know, I just want them there to feel and remember a time when everything was easier to deal with. And the next category is like thanks for nothing. In these books that I would not recommend. A lot of people talk about them, but I feel like they didn't hit the spot. They were not the books for me. So here are the books that I have chosen. We have The Song of Achilles, we have The Brontë at the End, The Night Circus. We have a big selection. The first book we have is The Song of Achilles by Madeline. I've read this book on my summer vacation. It was back in June when my vacation had just started and I was traveling with my sister. I thought that I'm going to be picking some of the summer books, like summer reads that I want to read on vacation on the road. And one of these books was Song of Achilles. It was the first book I picked for my summer vacation, and my verdict is it did not hit the spot for me. For me, maybe because it was trying to fit an old myth into the 21st century idea, and she is marketing this book as giving us an insight from Patroclus' point of view and giving us Patroclus' perspective from his childhood till his life with Achilles outside the walls of city of Troy. But for a book that it is marketed as a book to tell Patroclus' point of view, he was still living in Achilles' shadow. We don't see a lot of him, and he is there just to magnify and talk about the things that Achilles has done. He doesn't develop a personality outside from Achilles' shadow. This is my personal opinion. Again, I don't want anyone coming for my throat, but it did not hit the mark for me, and I'm sorry, but we are putting The Song of Achilles in thanks for nothing. A lot of people are gonna just skip my video right now and not watch it because I trash talk The Song of Achilles. But again, this is my opinion. Please form your own opinion. If you like this book, I'm so sorry, but it wasn't the book for me. I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and it was not it for me. Next book we have The Brontë at the End. This is a very sad book. I've read this one back in 2016, 17. It was at the time when I picked up my love for books, and I picked this one. I remember I was on vacation with my sister. She was studying in another city, and I went there to visit, and she was outside with her friend, and when they came back they found me sobbing and crying because I just finished the book. Because here's the thing, you know, the title said they both die at the end, you know that there's death involved, you know that someone is gonna die, but you keep this hope that maybe the title was misleading and they are just gonna live happily ever after. But spoiler alert, I mean it's not a spoiler because it said in the title that they're both like going to die in the end. So I'm gonna put this one in Country Road Take Me Home, because this one reminded me when I started reading, when I rediscovered my love for books and I started picking books and reading again, and I was like on a rush to just pick up the books that I had missed in the previous years. So this one is have a spot in my heart. Next we have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Oh my god, I love Erin Morgenstern. I've read The Night Circus and I've read The Circe, the two books by her, and they are perfection. I mean, it's obvious this one is gonna go on. We can't be friends if you don't like these books. The story is great. This is the thing with Erin Morgenstern, we have these breadcrumbs all along the chapters and along the way, but as you read you get to understand, and at the end you're like, damn, that was a great book. And this is how I felt with The Night Circus, and this is how I felt with The Circe. And if you don't like The Night Circus, we cannot be friends. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. The Night Circus rules. We cannot be friends. The next book is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Here's the thing. The Cruel Prince is the first book in a trilogy called The Folk of Air. We have the Cruel Prince, we have the Wicked King, and the Queen of Nothing. The story is about two sisters, Jude and I can't remember her face, I can't remember her name, and they are taken from the mortal world to live in Elfham. They are thrown into this world with mortal people and people who enjoy making humans and mortals suffer. They hate mortals because they say that we are decaying since the day we are born, and Jude is trying to prove herself in this world because she can only be respected in this world if she has something to give. And she is thrown into political debates. There's a lot of political talk in these books, and it's also a enemies to lovers kind of books. But the first book was not good. I mean, it said the word super great. I love the word building of this trilogy, and Holly Black paints the perfect Elfham. You cannot get confused. She is giving you everything, but at the same time she is keeping stuff for you to discover as you go on with the books. But the first book, hear me out. The first book, we have the two main characters. We have Jude, who she is mortal, and we have Cardon, who is the last in line for the throne of Elfham. And you know from the beginning that we have an enemies to lover kind of situation happening here. But Cardon in the first book was more of a bully. It was not just like push and pull and this, I hate you but I just want to be in love with you and I feel like I'm falling for you but I don't trust my feelings, you know the deal. It was more bullying, and I did not like Cardon in the first book. But as the series goes on, especially the second book, which is my favorite book in the series, it was amazing. It was great. It knocks my socks off. I mean, I can talk about the book forever. The plot twist at the end, oh god, I remember when I read this one and I only had the first and the second book, because the third book I think was just in hardback and I had the first two in paperback. And you know me, I get icky when the whole story is not in the same height, and if it's paperback hardback mix. So I was waiting for the paperback to came out and I was like, what the fuck did I do? I cannot know what's happening in the third book, because the plot twist at the end was illegal. It was torturous for me, and I end up like buying the ebook version, and I've read this on my phone. I can't remember if I actually got the third book, but yeah. So I don't know if I have this whole long ass talk is for me if I should judge the first book or the whole series, because I only put the Cruel Prince. So I think I'm gonna be pushing this one in weird vibes, or but okay, no, but wait, this is gonna be super unfair. I'm going to be putting this one in. I'm torn between these two. I'm gonna put it in there, the Win Amazing Sweetie, because even though it was not it for me, romance speaking, the word building was great. Holly Black writing style is amazing. It's not confusing. There's a lot of political debates in it, and I repeat, if you're not into political schemes and all that stuff, I'm gonna get confused. Next book we have The Maze Runner. Oh my god, this had unlocked a lot of memories that I had when I was in campus in university. I remember I picked this one on my first semester there, and I cannot remember what happened in this series for. I remember I only read the first book and I was like, okay, this sounds great, so I'm gonna wait till I have some money on me and get the whole series. And somehow I forgot because I did not pick the next books. So I'm gonna put this one obviously in Country Road Take Me Home, because I cannot remember anything beside what's happened in the movies, because I watched the movies, at first and second, and that's it. And even I cannot pinpoint the difference between the book and the movie. So I'm gonna put this one in the nostalgic, for just for the nostalgic vibes. Next we have Caraval, and this is an inside joke between us in the group, because whenever I go book shopping with Zainab or anyone from the squad, and I pass Caraval, the books, and also like the whole series, and I always say I unhold this book. This is an inside joke between us, because yes, I unhold my copy of Caraval. I did not enjoy it. I find the main character annoying. Her sister was super annoying. I was confused most of the time. There's a map somehow in the book that is super irrelevant to the whole story, because we stay in that map for like 2 or 3 chapters, or just like 2 chapters in the book, and I was super confused. And they say that the series gets better with the next books, but I have no patience for that. Like, life is too short to read books that I did not enjoy, so I hold my copy, and I'm gonna put this one in Thanks for Nothing. I'm sorry, but it was not it for me. Next we have The Silent Patient. Oh god, oh my god. This is, oh god, this book, this fucking book, The Silent Patient. Zainab is gonna hate me for it. She already hates me anyways, because I talk about how much I hate this book. This is one of her favorite books, and oh fuck, I didn't like it. I hated it. And this is obvious. This book is gonna be in Thanks for Nothing. The next book is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. There's a lot of controversy about this book, and I don't know how to feel about this, but I cannot remember a lot of things happening in this book, so I'm gonna put this one in Country Road Take Me Home. I understand some of the controversy that is happening and surrounding this book, but again, and I'm always saying this, please read the book and form your own opinion, and don't base your opinion on popular and mainstream outlets and media. So moving on. The next book we have The Seventh Husband of Evelyn, Hugo, and hear me out. If Taylor Jenkins reads tells me to read 1000 pages book in one night, I'm gonna do it. She can just do whatever she wants with me, and I'm gonna say thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. I appreciate the attention you have for me, because I adore Taylor Jenkins reads. In this household, we stand Taylor Jenkins reads, V.E. Schwab, and Neil Gaiman. That's it. End of the story. I read this book thanks to Zainab. She was talking about it a lot. She was raving about it, and I read it right after we finished our Grisha verse readathon. And I remember when I finished this one, I was not in a good place. I was so depressed that I had to log out of my social media and cut everyone, and for 3 days I was just there with a huge black cloud on above my head and just crying. And mourning this book. I cried so hard and it deserves all the hype. And I'm gonna put this one obviously in. You can't be friends if you don't like the seven husband of Evelyn Hugo. As we said, in this household we stand Taylor Jenkins Reid. So if you don't like her, that's the door. You see? There's the door. The next book we have is A Court of Thorns of Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Oh lord. Uh, this is super convenient because I just picked this book to reread. So, okay, listen. In my defense, okay, hear me out. A Court of Thorns of Roses is a very famous high fantasy book, series of books by Sarah J. Maas. I'm gonna push it like clear that Sarah J. Maas is a garbage person. We don't support Sarah J. Maas in this household. She is a Zionist, and I read this book in 2017, as I said, in the time when I just rediscovered my love for books, and it was, I think, the first fantasy book I read after Harry Potter, and I was so amazed. Oh my god. I'm gonna put here my review for the first book, or one of the books from the series, and I read it like a couple of days ago, and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Because for me back then, that was the pinnacle of literature. That was it. That was the book for me. And and then, like, fast forward, and I just, you grow up, your taste in books change, you check the books that you used to read, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And my friend, the squad, were like, we're doing an Akutar readathon, do you want to join? I was like, yeah, sure. But then I think I was reading something else and I missed the readathon, and Lena gifted me the boxes of the 4 books, and I had bought the last book, the most unnecessary thing to happen in 2021, and it is A Court of Silver Frame, focusing about 2 other characters that we are briefly introduced to in the first trilogy. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pick this one until I'm in a very, very, very bad place. I mean, I have no self-respect. I'm not enjoying who I am, and I finished Adilaru, I think, yesterday, 2 days ago, and I failed my driver license exam. I have to retake it again, and I was super mad at myself, and I was not in a good mood, and I was like, oh great, this is a great time to start a course of I can't speak, a course of thorns. Even my mind is trying to stop me from picking these books, but I'm like, no. And I'm currently reading the first book. That's it. That's the whole story. This is the most unnecessary, like, 5 minutes in this whole video. But yeah, I'm gonna put this one in weird vibes, but okay, because this book for me was my reintroduction to fantasy. Let's see what 2021 Samah think about these books. Oh my god. Okay, moving on. We have A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Curse So Dark and Lonely is another Beauty and the Beast retelling, and instead Beauty has more balls than the Beast, if that makes sense. The story was great. It was basic, another retelling. The word building is great. The language and the writing not the best. This is a young adult, so I'm gonna put this one in. You're doing amazing, sweetie, because it was a good time. It was fun times, and I'm just there for the vibes. The next book we have is Circe by Madeline. This is from the same author who wrote The Song of Achilles, and surprisingly, a lot of people did not like this book. You either like it or hate it. People like it because it gives another perspective about Circe, who is this one character who was talked about in one chapter, I think, in the Odyssey, and we know her backstory, and people who hate it say that it is very boring, and I agree, because some parts of it are so boring and it's just her talking. But again, I like this one better than The Song of Achilles, so I'm gonna put this one here. You're doing amazing, sweetie, because sweetie, you upgraded with Circe. Next we have The Book Thief, and this one is just, it should be there. Let's be honest, it's one of the best book I've read. It's very original. We have Death, who is telling stories about the people, and he's talking, but he is getting more attached to this one character who is just followed with bad thing, and is set in Nazi Germany. And we have this character who was adopted by this German family, and they are hiding. One day she discovered that they are hiding one Jew. It was in the rise of Hitler and when Jews were sent into concentration camps, and I cried my eyes out when I finished that book. So I'm gonna put this one in Country Road Take Me Home because it reminds me of a good time. It was not a good time to read about, but it reminded me of a great time. I enjoyed it. Oh god, Little Life. I talked about this book in one of my videos, and it was one of the books that I have a very complicated relationship with. I've read this one only for the sake of a book club. I was in the women book club, woman books, Moroccan woman readers. That's the name of the group, and I was there, and they chose this book for like book of the month, and I was like, yeah, cool. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I went to this one without reading trigger warning, which is super bad. Oh god, it was triggering so fucking hard. Oh, and I don't understand how someone can recommend that book. I mean, it's not just a sad book. It's so triggering. It's there just to make you cry. It's there just to make you feel shitty and miserable and realize how fucking unfair and hideous being alive with, and how disgusting humans can be. So I'm gonna put this one in weird vibes, but okay, because I understand the point of it, but I would not recommend this one. Or maybe Thanks for Nothing. No, I think it's worth vibes because a lot of people like this one, and I can see why they like it, but I can see it, but it's not for me. Thank you. Next we have A Darker Shade of Magic, which is the first book from Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and as I said, in this household we stand V.E. Schwab. I finished Adrien Leroux like yesterday, and I finished Shade of Magic. I finished her prequel comics, and I'm planning to hunt every book she has written. And Shade of Magic is amazing. The world building is great. The magic system is fantastic. The characters are to die for. Please pick this one. I love this book. I really enjoyed it. I have some issues with some of the characters. They were really enjoyable in the first, but in the third book they were plain annoying. I'm not gonna drop names, but just pick this book. It's great. V.E. Schwab has done an amazing job about setting the world of the Four Londons, setting the magic system, not getting confused with stuff. The second book was okay because a big chunk of it is about something that's so irrelevant to the story. The third book was the great conclusion to the trilogy, but she leaves a lot of things unsolved, and she said that she is revisiting the world to read another trilogy set in the world of the Shade of Magic, but so many years after the end of the trilogy. So long story short, this book is gonna go into We Can't Be Friends if you don't like this book. If you don't like Shade of Magic, it's great, it's amazing, please read it. And with anything V.E. Schwab has written, because she is amazing. That woman is just great. I worship that woman. She is super great, and just I love her so much. You know, when you love someone's aesthetics before even reading their works, I always adored V.E. Schwab. Following her on Instagram or Facebook, I love her lifestyle, the way she talks about books, the way she is passionate about writing, and when I read her books, I'm more in love with her. I mean, her as a person, not just as the writer that we know of. This is super creepy talking about it, but I love her so much. Next we have a classic. Wow, this is surprising. Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. I read this one like super long ago, and I have this amazing copy. I'm gonna get it now. Wait. Okay, I have this copy that I found in a thrift shop, and look at this. Okay, it's reflecting, but I hope you can see it. I don't like having people in the cover, but this book gives me the vibe of, and it's very yellow, it's very old. I've never seen this copy anywhere, and it makes me feel like Elizabeth Bennet on a walk in the meadows with my books and the lights. Oh, there's a golden hour situation happening here, but thanks a lot, son. I'm gonna put this one in country roads take me home. Next we have We Were Liars. This is a recent read. My sister is currently reading it right now, and this book was sad, really sad. I didn't cry though, but it just gave me this this gloomy feeling. When I finished, I was just staring at the wall for like 20 minutes trying to understand what the fuck I just read. So I'm gonna put this one in. You're doing amazing, sweetie, because this is a very, 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 very good book. The writing style is amazing. It's great. The way it is written is very, very, very original and clever, but it's very, very sad. And if you are not in a good mood, if you are not in a good place, don't pick this book. Do yourself a favor and just wait till you are in a better place. Next we have The Shadow in Bone by Lady Bardugo, and if it wasn't for the show, if it wasn't for Six of Crows, if it wasn't for meeting Nikolai, I would not have picked Shadow and Bone. I have a whole video talking about Shadow and Bone, the whole series, I think, the whole world building. So I'm gonna put this one in with vibe by okay. I mean, I understand, I love the words, I like the world building, but the characters are not to die for. They are not it. They are not the main characters that listen. I'm losing my word. It's Sunday and I'm super tired, so just let's move on. Red Queen, another book that it is an inside joke between us, because whenever I'm passing this book in a book, so I'm like, I unhold my copy of Red Queen. The story started with a good promise. The story was clever, but the execution was not what I had envisioned. It was lacking something. The main character was annoying, but the other characters were great. Yeah, they were salvageable, you know. But the story had promise. It was a good idea, but the execution not great. And I'm gonna put this one in. Thanks for nothing, girl. Next we have Six of Crows, and I'm gonna keep it plain and simple. If you don't like Six of Crows, we cannot be friends. Just that simple. That I'm not gonna explain why, but if you don't like it, get out. Here's the door. The Great Gatsby. Ooh, lately I've seen a video, I think, about how The Great Gatsby was actually not written by F. Scott, but by his wife. Many of the parts in the book is from his wife's diary or something like this, and she was the genius one in the couple, and that remained for debates. But I read this one back in university and I cannot remember what happened. I really need to read this one, so I'm gonna put this one in Country Road Take Me Home. And the last book is Pride and Prejudice, and this is obviously going on to the top. Pride and Prejudice, the OG enemies to lover, Mr. Darcy can own this body. I don't make the rules. Plain and simple. The movie is great. The book is amazing. The other TV show, I think, starring Colin Firth, Chef Kissed. Please watch the movie. Please read the book. And we have our tier ranking. Please don't take it personally. This is only my own opinion. And yeah, it was fun times. It was good times. And you know me, I'm only there for the vibes. And thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share this video with your friends. Tell me what you think about this book in the comments. I have other videos on my channel. I know that I have not been active on this platform, but there's a lot of things happening. I started my book club over Fable. I was more into books. I was studying for my driving license, which I failed. Did I say that? Did I say that I failed my driving license? Yes, I did it. I'm gonna retake it in 15 days, so just keep me in your prayer and wish me luck. And yeah, I was busy and I have a lot of ideas. I still didn't do my October wrap up, because I'm planning a cooking video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. All the links in my social media are in the description box. And with that, I'm gonna say goodbye, take care of yourself, and see you later. Bye bye.